I have a confession to make. I really like building stuff. When I was a kid, it was all about building with Legos, but as I got older, I realized I still really enjoyed it. I mean, I actually liked putting together furniture that we would get, but it didn't happen often enough for my habit. So when we would be out or on vacation or on trips places or even in just the odd toy store, I'd find model kits there and build those too. As you can see, I really do kind of like these metal earth models. They're made out of little sheet metal things and they're really good. But I also enjoy really anything I can build. I mean, anything we would find, I'd put it together. Recently, somebody gave me one of these UGears models. It's a wooden model. It's a train, not this train though. I got the UGears Disney Parks train. And I had a lot of fun putting it together, but there was a lot I realized that I would have loved to have learned before I put it together. So if you're new to it also, and you'd like some tips for putting this thing together, well, this is the video for you. So here we go. 10 tips for the UGears Disney train. Number 1, wood weak spots. I'm going to be honest, the wood is a lot stronger than I was expecting, but you should still be really careful with it. Try to anticipate the weak spots in the wood, the parts where the wood curves or bends, and in particular, pay close attention to the wood around the smokestack and the wood around this little door here. I found those two to be the weakest points. Number 2, don't freak out, use wood glue. When I put together metal models, they're totally silent. When you put together a wooden model, the wood makes the same sound when it snaps together as it does when it snaps apart. So keep in mind that you can often repair some of the breaks with wood glue and the model will be sturdy just like you didn't break it. Also, if it's really bad and you break a part that you really can't fix with wood glue, contact UGears and they'll send you some parts as replacement. The link is in the description. Number 3, sandpaper and wax. So remember, after all, this is a wood model, and you do need to make sure it runs smoothly. So don't be afraid to use sandpaper liberally, especially around round parts and gears. And also, don't be afraid to use wax, especially if you're having trouble sticking things together. It really does help. Number 4, candle type. When I started building the model, I just went and grabbed a candle that I had laying around the house that I really wasn't using for anything else. Now that was a soy candle and it did kind of stain the wood very lightly in some places. It did the job, but I think if I could do it again, I'd use a regular traditional wax candle. Online, some people have even recommended some sprays that might work, especially for like squeaky drawers and furniture and stuff. I didn't use it, but a lot of people that have done more models than I have recommend it. So I'll put a link to the product in the description and also a link to the Reddit community for UGears, where there are a lot of people asking for tips and exchanging them there too. Number 5, exclamation points. When you're looking in the instructions and you see this exclamation point symbol, it means the people who make these model kits are trying to alert you to something that's easily messed up. And sometimes when I would come across those, I wouldn't really know why they were using an exclamation point. Trust me, before you put the parts together, make sure you know why there's an exclamation point there. What could be the confusing point? As long as you think it through that way, you won't make some of the mistakes I did, like this one that I can't undo. Notice how the wheels have visible letters on them? Number 6, rubber bands. These kits don't run on motors, they run on rubber bands instead to create a wind-up action. Now in the kit I had, you don't get any extra rubber bands. So I strongly recommend being really careful with them. Make sure before you move on past any step with a rubber band, you're happy with the way they are. Make sure they're as compactly added to the wood as possible. And if you need to knot a rubber band to change the size of it, be careful with that too. UGears has their own video on this, and I've got a link in the description for that also. Number 7, the smokestack. I mentioned earlier that the smokestack is one of the places where the wood is the weakest. It's also one of the places with the weirdest little parts. Yes, you can see it in those pictures correctly. There is a loose piece that you just sort of put in there that gets popped up and down by the action of the gears as the train moves. Interesting. I kind of like it, but it looks a little weird in the directions. Maybe these pictures help. Number 8, forgotten pieces. I kind of get a little bit excited when I'm doing models like this, and I like going from one step to the next, and that doesn't always work well for a model with lots of small little pieces and easy steps to miss. So when a page in the manual tells you that you're going to be using a bunch of parts for these next few steps, maybe punch them out ahead of time, put them on a piece of paper and label them so you make sure you don't miss a step and you don't forget a part. Number 9, know your limits. I had a lot of fun putting this model together, but at times when I did a lot in a day, I found that the tips of my fingers would be a little bit sore from pressing wood pieces together. Also, I found that if I did make a minor mistake or almost make a mistake, it was because I was working on it for just too much at a time. So take it slow, do a little bit a day, you'll be happier for it. Number 10, have fun. Remember why you're building this model in the first place. It's a lot of fun. It's not about getting to the product, it's about the process. And these are really high quality models with some great details in them. If it's your first time, like for me, you're gonna probably make some mistakes or almost make some mistakes, and that's fine. Even if you're watching this video and you've done a bunch of UGears models, you're probably laughing at me a little bit for having discovered some of these things. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't mind having made those mistakes. It's a part of the process, and I'm looking forward to building another one of these models soon. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any questions or tips you'd like to offer for other modelers, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to take a look at the description for some links to things that I talked about in the video. And lastly, I hope you found it useful. Sometimes just having some pictures of the way the model is going to look from different angles can be really helpful in making sure you put things together the right way. Until I build another model, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.